Need for Speed Unbound confirms frame rate, resolution details for PS5 and Xbox Series X. Electronic Arts and Criterion Games chime in on Need for Speed Unbound's technical specifications on current generation consoles and more. Criterion Games is developing Need for Speed Unbound, and it is not its first time with the series. Through 2012's Need for Speed, Most Wanted, it demonstrated that it knows how to take a Need for Speed game and knock it out of the park. The trailer for the upcoming game looks promising, and the news that it is in Criterion is handling things instills further confidence that a great street racing game is on the way. Criterion and Electronic Arts have revealed some technical information about the Xbox Series and PlayStation 5 versions of the upcoming Need for Speed Unbound. One of the visually boldest upcoming racing games on the market, this new iteration of NFS promises to take things to the next level in more ways than one, and the new reveals suggest that the technical side of things won't be left behind either. Following months of murmur and half-believable rumors, Need for Speed Unbound got an official reveal just a few days back, promising a new era of NFS-style racing for all fans of the franchise. The game features a stark visual style that will help it stand out in the market, and according to the latest word from the developers themselves, it should run very well on all contemporary platforms. Few gaming franchises have managed to remain relevant for as long as Need for Speed. Proving that it's not done with its dominance of the arcade racing scene just yet, Electronic Arts dropped a surprise trailer for a new entry in the series titled Need for Speed Unbound. The upcoming game takes the franchise back to its street racing era, though it has an ace up its sleeve that may ensure that it nails its landing spectacularly, its developers. One of the biggest surprises with the reveal of Need for Speed Unbound was the game's aesthetic style, which takes its cues from cel-shaded media and, perhaps, even anime. Developers have now gone on record to confirm that Unbound is still going to run on the Frostbite engine and that it's going to target the golden 4K/60 FPS standard on both Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 consoles. It's worth pointing out that no specifics have been provided about how Unbound might perform on Xbox Series S, in particular. Need for Speed, Unbound and Criterion Games. Over the years, the Need for Speed franchise has passed through the hands of a few developers, with varying levels of success. Though many longtime fans consider the peak of the series to be during the underground street racing games, there is one title released later on that managed to become a favorite, Need for Speed, Most Wanted, 2012. Although it shares a name with its iconic 2005 counterpart, the two don't have much in common. It takes on many elements from the Burnout series, which was developed by Criterion Games. Hence, gamers can engage in spectacular high-speed crashes to knock out their opponents, and the camera will enter slow-motion mode upon impact to let players revel in the action. The entire game is obsessed with its stylish aesthetic, and before each race, gamers are treated to gaudy visuals. Upon release, Most Wanted was well received, and it managed to pick up a few awards for itself. Gamers were further impressed by the PS Vita port, which managed to make players feel like they could take the PS3 game and play it on the go. With Most Wanted, Criterion proved that it can be trusted with the Need for Speed franchise. Although it may no longer be in its golden years, the series is still beloved by its fans, and while its gameplay isn't too complex, it does require some TLC to get it right. Most Wanted features top-notch visuals along with a spectacular soundtrack to complement Need for Speed's classic arcade racer gameplay. If Criterion can pull off the same with Unbound, gamers can rest assured that another great game is on the way. While there's likely no cause for concern for Xbox Series S users, even though the console has seemingly been ignored in the context of Unbound's performance, the good news is that players will be able to try NFS Unbound with Game Pass Ultimate. The game's predecessor, Need for Speed Heat, performed reasonably well across the board using the very same Frostbite engine. Unbound is likely to follow suit, and with its physics running at a higher frame rate than ever before, the game's many cars should feel better than ever before. Developers from Criterion haven't issued any further comments on Need for Speed Unbound's full car list, which seems to have a few notable omissions. They did, however, promise that the new and improved physics implementation should make it way easier to feel the difference between driving a high-tier Lamborghini and a stock Hyundai, for example. Now that rumors about Need for Speed Unbound's anime elements have been confirmed, it's going to be particularly interesting to see how the game looks and feels in motion. Though arcade racing games often flirt with alternative visual styles, established IPs such as Need for Speed don't often make such massive visual changes from one entry to another. This alone should help Unbound make a name for itself after it hits the stores early in December. Everything revealed about Need for Speed Unbound so far. All gamers have gotten thus far is a brief reveal trailer of the upcoming game, but it has been enough to spark excitement. As the trailer reveals, Unbound will feature anime-like visual flourishes, though it is not yet known whether these will appear in gameplay or just during cutscenes. Music appears to be a big part of the upcoming game, as developers have collaborated with rapper A$AP Rocky and his creative collective AWGE. The rapper will also be making an appearance in the game, and he is seen alongside a highly customized Mercedes-Benz 190 EEVO. It appears that developers are trying something new with the upcoming game, which is something that should always be applauded. Though the heydays of street racing may have passed, the appearance of a popular contemporary rapper, along with the stylized visuals, may put a new twist to keep things exciting. Unbound is targeting current generation consoles only, which is another sign that Criterion Games may have something big in store. Need for Speed Unbound is scheduled to release on December 2, 2022, on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X/S.